The glory of God is a person fully human, fully alive. What does it mean to live a resilient life? Good morning. My name is Father Frank Buckley, and I am the grateful host of our morning meditation community, Flourishing During Challenging Times. I'm delighted you are all joining this morning. It is a three-part program. The first part, we do a little inspiration for this morning. I have chosen a little reflection about something I find very interesting is resilience. The second part is the heart of the program. Uh, it is really where we experience a little miracle in our everyday, ordinary lives. That is the prayer and meditation, 20-minute silent meditation. Um, and then the third part is we will end with doing a little Ignatian Jesuit examine where we look back over our recent past and notice where we encountered God in our life in big and small ways. And of course, those areas where you come alive, we continue to try to build a really meaningful community, and you can add to the community by just on Facebook. You can put where God came alive for you, type in the corner, and together we will experience the beautiful ways God acts in our life. And if we don't take a moment to step back, it's very easy to miss them. So, without further ado, I am going to share with you a little reflection about resilience that I found quite helpful from Eileen Russell's book, Restoring Resilience. Wait a minute. There you go. Okay. In her chapter, Freedom is Frightening, she says this: in psychotherapeutic language, savoring is the meta-processing of pleasurable experiences. What is the experience of happiness like? What is the experience of joy or pride like? What is the experience of connection like? And what happens when one stays with those experiences, luxuriating in them and letting them wash all over the self? How much more does the pleasurable experience deepen? Or does something interfere with it? How do we understand the interference? And what do we do with it when it occurs? How do we understand the inference? In an affect-oriented, experiential world, facilitating savoring requires a very careful balance between the experience of pleasure and the reflection on it. Pure experience is not savoring, and too much reflection and attempts to articulate the experience in language threaten to intellectualize what otherwise might be a focused, embodied experience of pleasure, fulfillment, or meaning. Savoring requires balance between experience and reflection. Savoring requires some level of the surrender of the sense of pressure and responsibility we all carry. If we do not allow ourselves savoring experiences, they either do not happen or we circumscribe or struggle or strangle them. God might have said at the end of a long day of creation, This is good. Now, moving on. What is the agenda for tomorrow? Darkness and light. So it is interesting that the authors and editors of the Old Testament included that God rested at the end of all his work, thereby ordaining rest, slowing down, satisfaction, restoration, and presence. Human experiences that seem all too uncommon in our technological, fast-paced world that prizes busyness as a status symbol. Being slowed down and present is the only kind of mindset in which we can really savor. And it is truly conducive to gratitude. Thank you, Eileen. I love this reading. And she brings something into the conversation of resilience that I have not heard before, the importance of savoring. And for those of you who don't know it, for St. Ignatius, a 16th century saint, savoring was pivotal. Pivotal. That was the reason he had us do the examen, to savor those experiences where God is moving and alive in our life. But to be resilient, to savor, we absolutely have to slow down, put the brakes on, resist the busyness, and notice, which is a perfect segue into our 20-minute contemplative practice. We are all monks now. So let's prepare. Let's prepare this morning. I'm going to tweak it a little. Let's prepare to savor, to just in this meditation for 20 minutes, to savor the beautiful ways that even in a challenging world, God is alive and active in our bodies, in our meditation practice, and in our life. So on that note, I will set the timer for 20 minutes. If you can unplug all technology, we give this first 20 minutes of our morning to God and focus on our intention of just sitting down, surrendering, and savoring. I'll ring the bell to get us started and ring the bell again to complete the meditation. Let's begin. Listen, listen, the sound of the bell returns us to our true home. I invite you to lower the eyes or close them, whatever feels safe and comfortable to you. As always, we begin with diaphragmatic breathing, that is, breathing deeply as possible into the lower belly 3 times, just to calm the central nervous system. Inhale and exhale. Beautiful. 2 more times. Deep inhale. Open mouth, exhale. Last time, deeply as possible. Inhale and exhale. Bringing fresh oxygen to the mind, the brain, and the body. Continue to breathe on your own. Take the attention to the body. Savor the body present on this green earth. Moving up the body, we savor those moments where we feel supported. And we lean into those moments, those experiences, just a little, where we felt a little support in our lives. We move a little higher up the body to the heart. And on a moment to moment basis, we make a choice. Our heart rests in love or fear. For this moment, let's just notice, let's savor those experiences of love we've had recently. Finally, we arrive at the forehead, the seat of intuition, and we focus on an intention, something we desire deeply in our life, noticing, savoring the graces God has bestowed on us, not being afraid to ask the divine for something great this morning. We seal the intention with an inhale and an exhale. Very gently, we take the attention to the breath. We engage our sacred word. Repeat it a few times. Drop down to the ocean floor and enjoy a little deep rest. Please continue. Hmm. We only have about a minute left, so for the last minute, let's just again engage the ancient Tibetan practice of sprinkling a little joy over our meditation practice, our life, and the world. Please continue. Gently bring your attention back to the room. If your eyes were closed, go ahead, open the eyes. You can circle the wrist one way, then the other. Rub the hands together, bringing a little oxytocin and warmth into the body. Release, shake out anything you've been holding on to. Happy Friday. Wonderful job, everyone. It was amazing being with you throughout this whole week, building a contemplative community with people all over the world. I love when you put in your comments where you're from. We'll now do a little Ignatian examine. And oh my goodness, I am so caught up in Eileen's work on savoring and Ignatius's importance on savoring and noticing those delicious experiences in our life. And Ignatius would say again and again, savor these moments by engaging the senses, what you see, what you smell, what you taste, what you hear, what you feel. So it's Friday. It's been an amazing week with all of you. As we do this little examine, let's just look over the week and notice where God was moving in our life. And again, on Fridays, I always am thinking about the food pantry because it's going to happen on Saturday, and we are geared up and ready and have a food pantry full of food and vegetables and fruit and drinks ready to be handed out. I'm also really excited that Go Blessed Sacrament, we're opening a second day thanks to the help of Monsignor Fleming and St. Brendan's. We will be opening on Tuesday, and thank you, USA West, for sending us Brother Henry Perez, who will be supervising that. Um, Eleanor, I'm not expecting you to fly in from Scotland, but if any of you are in the area, it's going to go from around 3 to 7 on Tuesdays, and we could definitely use some volunteers. I will be there as well, so hopefully you can join us. And then what a great gift Brother Henry has been to drop into our lap. He'll be here for Regency for a few years, and hopefully you will get to meet him. He is supervisor of the food pantry. He's got a degree in cooking from the Cordon Bleu School in Pasadena and brings a lot of energy and life to our community. And then lastly, what I'm so grateful for was just to be able to share with you this morning this idea of savoring, of noticing, of slowing down. And in this fast-paced world we live in the middle of race riots and a pandemic, it's hard to slow down. And again, as we wind up the week, I am so grateful for all of you to slow down, to give a priority to your morning practice, to give the first hour of the day to God, and then just let the rest of the stuff unfold as it will. We are not in charge. We surrender to God, and our lives become more beautiful than we could ever Imagine. Happy Friday. Have a beautiful weekend. Try to get on that cushion for 20 minutes each day on Saturday and Sunday. And I can't wait to see you back here on Monday. God bless you and have a beautiful weekend.